Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time for our level 50 fishing quest, as we are finally finishing off the job quest for A Realm Reborn. Hello there, Sissipu. Sissipu needs your help with an emergency. Uh-oh, what happened? God, this is unbelievable. According to the age-old adage, when the going gets tough, the tough go fishing. Unfortunately, the adage is of little use when the tough going happens to be a fishing ban. Uh-oh, what happened? You haven't heard, have you? Ainzar Slafferson has closed all docks and ports for fishing vessels on the authority of Admiral Merlvin. Some sorry sailors supposedly spotted a serpent at sea, and so Slafferson stated that for our safety, all our services must cease. Sissipu, please, you're acting like Wawalago now with your frickin' alliteration. It's all so frustrating. Well, we may be a group of sedentary fishers, but we're not about to take this sitting down. First, we'll need to know what we're up against. The Brugaire Consortium maintains ties to the Maelstrom, so Sybil may know something we do not. It is time to go fishing for information. Alright, let's go see if we can figure out what the heck's going on with this fishing ban. Alright, Sybil, do you have any info for us? It's certainly a pleasure to see you again, though I wish it were under happier circumstances. The news came as a shock to us as well. Any Lominson who's ever boarded the boat has heard the tale. Back when the world was not but a dry, lifeless rock, Limlane created a giant serpent. From its massive maw, the creature spat forth water until the land was filled. But it would not stop. To prevent the world from being completely submerged, the navigator trapped the serpent in a floating island with a warning that if it were ever to be freed, the seas would rise until the world ended. This is from where the Thalassocratic motto, till sea swallows all, comes. You can imagine the Admiral's surprise upon learning that a sailor claims to have actually seen the serpent in question. While you and I may recognize it as a fairy tale aimed to scare children, the panic in the streets is real, and so Slefferson hasn't any choice but to take drastic measures in order to maintain the peace. Regrettably, those drastic measures have dire consequences for both your guild and my consortium. And the Maelstrom is too occupied with ship inaugurations to conduct a proper inquiry, meaning our only hope is to take matters into our own firm yet supple hands. Ahem. Sybil? Please. No. It may be impossible to prove the sea serpent does not exist, but perhaps the testimony of the eyewitness could be impugned. I believe you have met the sailor responsible for the sighting, one known as Chucharoon. Oh, it was Chucharoon? Alright, Chucharoon, tell me about this fish you saw. Chucharoon see big fish at sea, some say see serpent. Chucharoon just want fish to fish, see fisherman Wabolago about fishing fish in sea. Okay. Next up, Wabolago, what info do you have? I've seen enough at sea to know when sailors are seeing things, and what Chucharoon saw was no sea serpent for sure. Missing your marks will make mountains out of molehills, distances deceive and delude the minds of men at sea. My money says your serpent is a Maslaya marlin, a fairly big fish, but by no means a monster. You can see them barreling back and forth along the north of Bloodshore. But if spied from the shore, people will just shrug their shoulders. You need to make them meet the marlin up close and personal. I'll admit it's easier expressed than executed, and I've never nabbed one. If you don't loosen up your line, they'll rip your rod right out of your hands. But first you need a bite. They won't waste their breath on worms from other waters. Maslaya marlin demand mooching, more familiar to you as fish wheeling perhaps. And not just any mean act of mooching, but the daunting duty of the dramatic double mooch. I reckon you're ready for it. Get a goby ball and haul in a harbor herring. Once you've hitched your herring, offer it up to an ogre barracuda, then bait that beast to make the Maslaya marlin bite. Okay, goby ball, harbor herring, ogre barracuda. Makes me want to sail out myself, but Slafferson would slay any guildmaster who slights him. Besides, I'm sure Sissipu would sooner see you succeed at it. Alright, so, if we can catch the Maslaya marlin, we can prove to Chucharoon that it was not a sea serpent. Off to the Bloodshore then. Actually, we can just take the boat. Okay, it was a goby ball you said. I'm trying to keep this all in mind because that was actually quite a bit of information. Because we're going to be double mooching. That is not going to be easy. It's not going to be like a horribly difficult task, but it's certainly not going to be easy. Okay, so Gobi Ball into... What was the first fish? I know the second one was an ogre barracuda. And the first fish was... harbor herring. Okay, that's what I thought. I believe we have caught Mazlaya Marlin before, but, well, we gotta catch one for the quest, don't we? Oh, glowing coral. I love that. Okay, release list. Let's... Oh, come on. I want to keep the harbor herring and the ogre barracuda and the Mazlaya Marlin. Yeah, we've already caught one of them, but let's go ahead and catch another. Oh, wait. Wasted a chum, but we need patience. Alright, caught a moochable harbor herring. I'm not happy though. We ran out of patience and I don't dare cast it again because that could actually kill our mooch chance. I forget if it does or not, but don't want to risk it. So please give me a moochable ogre barracuda. Please. Please. Give me that moochable barracuda. Alright, it's moochable. Let's get that Mazlaya Marlin. We weren't here very long at all, but... we got the Marlin. Any moment now, there you are. Alright, Mazlaya Marlin. Let's get that back to Sissipu. Alright, Sissipu, good news. I caught the actual fish that Chuchurun saw. It is, in fact, a marlin. A rather big fish. God, I can't believe we're reduced to this. Still, while Walwalago's never been right for running a guild, he's never been wrong about a fish. If he says our serpent is Mazlaya Marlin, that's what it is. And I have one as a sample. That's the marlin? I can see how some might mistake it for a monster. Hopefully, Sliferson will see it the same. Come, Sybil arranged for us to speak with the Grand Storm Marshal. So many moons has it been, I can scarcely remember the last time I boarded a merchant ship for anything other than an inspection. Quite comfortable indeed aboard the luxurious fleet of the Bruguiere Consortium. No doubt to put crooked mongers and traffickers at ease while making illicit deals at sea. Perish the thought! We would never dream of calling the Grand Storm Marshal to a vessel where such roguery took place. A shame. I'd imagine those sorts of vessels were the most fun. I suppose we'd then best end a business. Of course, sir. Allow me to introduce to you the Mazlaya Marlin. God, that is a big fish, though. Great Limlane's ghost! The blurry thing is massive. However did you catch it? Though I suppose that doesn't matter. At any rate, it is your contention that this marlin is our sea serpent? You can sing yourself to sleep with that silly sea serpent story, but it still won't hold water. I knew things were proceeding too smoothly. You always know just the wrong time to act the guildmaster, don't you? Never you mind. I've known Walwalago long enough not to mind his manners. Unlike his fish, I know when I'm being baited. Boy, you've been baiting and bullying us with your ban. Will you let up and lift it? A fine question. To lift the fishing ban or to not lift the fishing ban? What to do, what to do, what to do. On one hand, I could lift the ban, but on the other... Now who's the one baiting? Why not? Of course there are formalities we must observe, so I'm afraid the declaration will have to wait until tomorrow. And the ban will be lifted, won't it? Unless you prefer it weren't. By no means, it's just, I fear that simply bringing you a large fish might fail to serve as adequate evidence in overturning a formal military promulgation. Well, I never really believed all this sea serpent silliness in the first place. It was more about putting Luminson's minds at ease than anything else. And the marlin you've brought me should accomplish just that. A few of our more paranoid conspiracy theorists in the Maelstrom allege the serpent to be a part of an elaborate Sahagin plot, so this should make for a nice laugh at their expense as well. And to think this all started because someone spotted a large fish. And because fishtails are wont to grow in size, a large fish became serpent size and then ceased to be a fish altogether. It makes you wonder about what other sorts of overblown fantasies we've all been led to believe. It sounds like you're ready to lift the ban whether we brought you the marlin or not. If only it were that simple. A fine Grand Storm Marshal I would be if I went lifting bans willy-nilly without any evidence the problem had been solved. This marlin is essential to assuaging the irrational fears of the public. Well, then I suppose Satoru's efforts weren't for naught after all. I only wonder how the fishtail grew out of proportion in the first place. I don't delight in delving into details, but that deed might have been my doing. Wobble-lago, no! Why am I not surprised? When I mentioned to Chuchurun that the Mazlaya Marlin was a monster, I meant it metaphorically, but mayhap he misunderstood. I think it would be in the best interest of all involved if I don't hear any more of this story. The Maelstrom expresses its gratitude to your efforts for bringing this evidence to light. Your guild will be notified when the fishing ban is formally lifted. I bid you good day. All right. The ban is lifted. We are free to fish once again. Terrifying to think a little exaggeration can get out of hand, particularly when you consider how often fishermen exaggerate. But it sounds like Sliferson knew something was fishy all along. Nevertheless, you saved our guild from destruction at the hands of an imaginary sea serpent. Funny how... oh dear. Mulika? Oh god, that's too many consonants for me, I'm so sorry. Delivered you to our doorstep just when we needed you most. And I certainly can't consider you a guppy anymore, now that you've got a Marlin the Guildmaster himself now for quite reeled in. I'd say we name you the Guildmaster, but then Wawalaga would have nothing to dodge, and I'm not ready to let that fish off the hook so easily. But I suppose we could at least let him know he has a rival. And that might be your finest fishing accomplishment of all, luring Wawalago back to work. Yeah, you aren't a big fan of him, are you? To be fair, it's Wawalago, he's such a slacker. And our reward for completing the level 50 quest, in addition to a bunch of Northern Krill, we also get the Halcyon Rod, which is our first relic tool. We'll be getting into what the relic tools are in the post-game, but suffice to say, they're the very special type of tools that you very much want to collect, but they can also take a little while to upgrade. They're upgradable. We'll get more into details on that later. Oh, which do I want? Oh dear. You know what? No, I'm not gonna grab any of these. I'm gonna get the gold piece, and we'll deal with all this later. That concludes the Fisher quest for A Realm Reborn. In order to undertake the next series of quests, we must meet the following requirements. We have to complete the main scenario quest before the dawn. This is the very last story quest before Heavensward begins. Effectively, we need to get to Heavensward. Once you have done so, the next Fisher quest will be available. Alright, it'll be a while till then, but for now, thank you, Sisapu. Now then, let us head off to... Do we have any more fishing holes? I think we do. We should have a couple more fishing holes before we have finished that off. Yeah, we do have a few. So then, let's get started with, oh hey! We can go fishing finally at the Isles of Umbra. Let's go do that. We've just got a few fishing holes to do today, and then we'll be all done. Alright, Isles of Umbra first. Since that is somewhere we've been meaning to go, but haven't been able to go because of the dang main story for a while. Alright, let me go ahead and pull up the fish list for that. And it looks like a good starting bait might be that northern krill we just got. And where is this first fishing hole? Ah, it's going to actually be right over here, it looks like. Right over where we started. Let's get out that northern krill and see what we catch. Alright, first fish is a red coral. Nothing new to us. I'll keep it since it is a crafting material, but nothing new here. Let's see, what fish do we still need to catch? These last four. We can catch, I want to say 3 of them? Yeah, we should be able to catch 3 of them, it looks like. Alright, for the first one then, looks like we're going to need to mooch it. We're going to need to mooch it from a Murlthor goby. And the Murlthor goby is caught with lugworms. Okay. Let's pull out some lugworms and do that. No, not... okay, you know what? Fine. We'll get bloodworms out too, I guess. What am I doing? We mooch it from the Murlthor goby. That's what we're keeping on unselected on a release list. There we go, caught the fish we were looking for. The wahoo comes from casting out a Murlthor goby with a mooch. Alright, next on our list in the area, we're going to want glowworms, I believe. Oh, I need to restock my glowworms. I'll do that soon enough. And the fish we want to catch has about a 25% catch rate with glowworms. So let's see how long that takes to catch. Wait! Oh my god, that was a moochable. That was a moochable wahoo. Oh dear, what have I done? Oh, that would have only caught us the silver shark. Never mind. Alright, there we are. Caught our second fish, the pike eel. Next up, we're going to want to catch red coral and use that for mooching. And for red coral, our best bet looks to be krill cage feeders. So let's pull those out. That's shrimp. There's krill. Alright, krill cage feeder. Use makeshift bait so that we can get guaranteed mooches. Cost 5 of our angler's arts, but guaranteed mooches is great. Now let's just catch some ocean cloud. What am I doing? Not red coral. Ah, I'm sleepy apparently. Looks like pill bugs. Pill bugs are what we want. Like, genuinely, what is wrong with me? Why was I thinking ocean cloud? Oh, I'm so... Okay, pill bugs. Do I already have those out? I do not. God, that was dumb. Why? Why? Why did I do that? Yep, someone spawned an S rank hunt target. Let's be careful that we don't run into it. Alright, Moochable Ocean Cloud, this is going to give us exactly what we're looking for. But who spawned an S rank hunt target? I'd go participate if not for the fact that those are terrifying. And none of my combat classes or jobs are quite ready for that yet, I don't think. Also, we are kind of busy with fishing. Alright, and this gives us the sunfish. Alright, that should be all the fish we are able to catch at the moment here at the North Shore. So, let's see, what's next? We got a couple more fishing holes here. Next up, I think, is going to be... the ship graveyard is going to have some fish for us to catch. So let's head down to the south end. And then it looks like most of those fish we've already caught. I see one that might be new. Two that might be new, actually. And three that we probably shouldn't catch yet. Three that we can't catch yet. Alright, starting bait, let's just go with a pill bug. It'll give us a Myrtlethorpe Goby, but it'll also mark it on our fishing log so we can get a feel for what's in the area. Alright, Myrtlethorpe Goby. And as for the ship graveyard, we have... ooh, yeah, we got quite a few. The last three we're not going to get yet. The first two... let's see, how do we catch you? First one, glowworms. Second one, also glowworms. Okay, they both want glowworms. That's going to be fairly simple. I need to restock on my glowworms. Alright, there's one. We got the Mummer Wrasse. Wrasse? Wrasse? Alright, caught the place, and I swear I thought I heard something sneaking up behind me in game. It terrified me for a moment. Alright, that should be all of the fish at this hole for now. Yeah, we'll get the last three later. No, don't recast. Hop on our mount. And our third fishing hole on the Isles of Umbra, because there's a lot here. This will also be the last one on the Isles of Umbra. Is going to be Isles of Umbra South Shore. Let me pull up that fishing list. Spoonworm or steel jig would be starters. They'll catch us a full moon sardine, but that's fine. Where's a steel jig? There we go. Alright, let's see what our first fish is here. I think we have all of these already. Oh. Nothing bites. Have I been lied to? Is steel jig not a good choice? I see 18,000 people reporting using a steel jig here and catching something. Y'all are liars. The internet's full of liars. Alright, let's try a krill cage feeder. Alright, first fish at the Isles of Umbra South Shore is a black lip oyster. And let's see, 3 fish, all of which are post-game. Alright, we're good. I'm going to head back to the Limsa, restock my bait, and then we're going to head off to one more fishing hole here in Western Lenosia before we head on to our next area. Alright, restocked my bait, and for the next fishing hole, we're going to be heading way out into Sahagan territory, way off to the west of Aleport. It's going to be a bit of a trek. We'll get there soon enough, it's just going to be, you know, a trek. All the way over to the tide gates over here. And looks like we got fate starting, so we should probably be a little bit cautious. Alright, let's sneak through Halfstone. Into the Sahagan's Den. And then we're going to take a right here through the gate, and we're just going to keep heading north. And up here we should come to a dock or a pier. The Serpent Reavers generally make their home here, but the Sahagan are using the area at the moment. Alright then, let's go ahead and get fishing. And we'll start with the krill cage feeder, it's fine. And I don't think there's going to be any new fish here that we can catch at the moment. Actually, there might be one. There's one I'm seeing that we might be able to catch. Alright, let's see. Reaver hide. We can catch 2? No, 1. We can catch 1 fish here. But it's not available until 5 p.m. in-game, and stops being available at about 10 p.m. in-game. Okay, that's a relatively short amount of time. I guess I can stick around here a few minutes, waiting for it to spawn. It's going to want northern krill as its primary bait, and I'll set everything else to be ignored. And we'll be back in a few minutes once that's ready. Alright, the Rog Lobster was surprisingly stubborn about coming up. It took about an hour in-game, so only 3 minutes, honestly. But catch it with Northern Krill between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. And that should do it for Western Lenosia. So we're heading off to Eastern Lenosia next. Actually, I'm going to teleport. Alright, out here in Costa del Sol, we have 3 destinations for which we can go fishing at. The first is going to be the North Isle of Endless Summer, where the Moonfire Fair usually takes place. I'm still sad I didn't make it to the top of the jumping challenges there, the platforming challenges. I think that would have been really cool. I'll get it next year, though. Alright, can we fish from anywhere on this island? I think we can. Yeah. Alright, North Isle of Endless Summer. What are you gonna give us? Ooh. Oh. Okay, these are mostly gonna be post-game fish. There's one that is actually kind of hard to catch, even though it's only an item level of 1. Hello, Leafy Sea Dragon. How did I not have you yet? That's odd. Okay. So the Leafy Sea Dragon likes to be caught with spoon worms, looks like is the best bait, though most baits I can catch it pretty easily. Okay, so yep, we already have all the fish for North Isle of Endless Summer. The rest are all post-game, including that item level 1 fish. which, yeah, it's weirdly hard to catch, and it also has some time restrictions. It's, let's see. Yeah, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. is what I'm seeing for that. Yeah, we'll have to come back for that later. We'll do it when we're doing the post game, when we get to the point where it was actually, you know, added to the game. Alright, next up, the last two fishing holes are actually going to be right next to each other for Eastern Lenosia. We're going to go ahead and board the Rotano Privateer. No, I'm not going for the Nepto Dragon. Why do you think I'm going for the Nepto Dragon? Oh my goodness. That dialogue I don't think is supposed to trigger unless you're like in a very specific, very late post-game quest, which I definitely have not gotten to. Oh, that's odd. Alright, here up on this boat out here, just off the shore from the North Isle of Endless Summer. Yeah, we'll start with a glowworm, and we'll cast off the stern. And again, looks like there's not going to be any new fish for us here. It's mostly post-game. The first 5 are base game. The rest of them are all post-game. Yeah, okay, we're good. And then let's go check out the forecastle next. And looks like most of the fish up on this end are going to be catchable by us. It's just the last 2 that are technically post-game. Alright. Let's see. How are we doing on this? We're good. We're good. We have all the fish here. Alright, next up, where are we heading? Let's head to the Shroud next, I think. Alright, in North Shroud, just before Fallgourd Float, we're going to take a north and head up into Ixali territory towards the Ixali logging grounds. Because those logging grounds are actually right on the shore of Lake Tatotl. And that's going to be our last fishing hole for the Shroud. We fished at every fishing hole in Lenosia, now for the very last one in the Shroud. Alright, all the way into the logging grounds. Skip the creek. And the lake is gonna be right here. Alright, let's see. What can we catch? Nope, that's Proud Creek. That is Proud Creek still. Crap. Lake Tatotl must be actually down this way then. This can't be the lake. I guess it is. Well then. Alright, here we go. Lake Tatotl is going to give us a boxing Pleco, and looks like we do have all of the fish before post-game. Excellent. Alright, then next up is Thanolin. Let's go Kurthus, actually. Alright, the last fishing hole up here in Kurthus is near Camp Dragonhead, but before we head onwards, I keep forgetting to actually put on the new rod. Because it is a relic rod. It is a much better rod than what we have. And I want to point out, I have very specifically selected my materia on my fishing rod to max out its gathering and perception stats. As close as I can to maxing them out. As close as is possible to maxing them out. And still, the new rod is better. Let's see, it is 17 gathering points better, and 10 perception points better, So that's already +5 over the materia I have, and slightly less for the gathering compared to what I have right now, but that's fine because it's just so much better in general. We aren't able to actually put any materia on the relic rod, on the halcyon rod. But that's not the biggest deal in the world because it is going to be still objectively better. It's just a better rod. And as we proceed into the post-game, we are eventually going to start making the halcyon rod even better. Good old relic tools, very upgradable in a very tedious process. But worth it, I think. Alright, got our halcyon rod on. Let's head on out to the northeast and head towards our last fishing hole called Witch Drop. No, not this Witch Drop, and not this Witch Drop either. This Witch Drop down by Nadalin. At least I imagine they would have been using this area down here as their Witch Drop for Ishgard, until the Ixal really took over the area. And kinda made it a bit harder to access. Okay, let's see. We're gonna need hoverworms. Okay, this is not a good spot. Let's just keep going this way along the edge until we find a good spot for fishing. Here we are. Alright, what will we catch at Witch Drop? Looks like the last 3 fish for this hole are going to be post-game. The rest are going to be catchable for us. Alright, got ourselves a skyfish, and we can catch one more. There's one that we don't have. And looks like for that we want to mooch from a cloud cutter. And cloud cutters are fans of hoverworms, of course. Oh, they're actually even bigger fans of freshwater boilies. Do I have any of those out? I do. Okay then, we are going to look to catch cloud cutters and use those for mooching. And caught the saucer fish. There we are. That was the last fish we were looking for. Alright, let me convert these stacks of anglers art into more GP. And then off we go to... I'll meet you just west of the observatorium, I think. And yes, we could have mooched that fish. That would have led us to trying to catch post-game fish, which we absolutely do not have even the beginning of having the stats for yet, so we'll get to that later. Alright, I decided to just go ahead and directly meet you in Mordona because I remembered we actually have been here before in our fishing episodes. We were here in literally the previous fishing episode, so there is no point in showing you the route. We already know the route. So we're going to be making our way east, and our first of 2 fishing holes here is going to be all the way up at this northeastern corner. So let's get hiking. Oh, look at the crystal tower. It's glowing. Clear night. It's night. It is glowing. Oh, it's so pretty. I love this area. All right, let's just keep hiking up north. We'll make it in good time. And let's see, what bait do I want to use? Glowworm looks like it'll catch a good spread of fish. Same for caddisfly larva. Let's do caddisfly larva actually. All right, all the way up at the north end, we can fish here to find Let's see. Caterpillar larva. Is it still in my... It is still in the saddlebag. Is it still in the saddlebag? Did I take it out? Where is it? There you are. Alright. Now let's find the exact spot where we actually can fish. Might be right around here. Here we are. Alright, what are we gonna catch? Looking at the list, looks like the last 3 fish are going to be post-game. The rest we can catch if they are not already caught. Got a Lamp Marimo. And let's see, North Shards. We're already good. Alright, I'll head back to Revenant's Toll then and meet you there for hiking out to the next fishing hole, which will be the last in Mordona. Alright, made it back to Revenant's Toll. We're going to be heading west this time, and heading down towards the Tangle where we did some fishing previously. Once we get down to the Tangle, all the way down here, we're going to actually make our way south and east up to this area known as Wrathfrost, which will be right on the edge of Lake Silvertear and another good spot to go fishing. Alright, let's see. There's the castrum. That's... Oh, God. We learned last time that, in the previous episode, that, that's actually where our friends are being held right now. God, I wish we could bust in there and save them, but, no, that's gonna be a little too dangerous. Okay, let's go this way, I think? Yeah, this way. Alright, down through the Tangle. Oh god, the crystal's so pretty. I love emissive objects in video games. I love bioluminescent foliage. I love these emissive crystals. I just love things that give off light that are not supposed to give off light. It's always very pretty to me. I don't know why. It just is. It's gorgeous. And we got a great view of the Crystal Tower from here. Alright. Oh, hey, is Thaliok's mark glowing? No, not quite glowing. It's just kind of lit up oddly by the crystal. Okay, let's begin our fishing here at Wrathfrost. Okay, 2 post-game fish here. The rest we can catch now. Let's see. Looks like we already have them all. Perfect. Excellent. All right, then. On to Thanalin. All right, here in Western Thanalin, we're heading north from Vesper Bay, making our way up to Parada's Peace, where Parada's Peace and Cape Westwind have our last 2 fishing holes. Previously, I skipped Cape Westwind because it is a Garlean outpost, but, I'm gonna be honest, I am at the point where I am angry enough at the Garleans that, I don't care anymore. I've gone in and torn up enough of their soldiers as my combat jobs. I'm sure I can sneak in and do some fishing without them pestering me. And without causing an international incident. Alright, first up, Parada's Peace. Looks like it's going to have 1 post-game fish, and I think we have the rest of the fish here? There's 1 I see that we might not have. Alright, let's see. Parada's Peace. Now we already have them all. Perfect. Then next up, let's climb Cape Westwind and do some fishing out here. Let's see, looking at the fishing hole information for this one. I see 2 post-game fish. I think we have all but one of these fish. No, I think I might have actually caught the level 49 fish somewhere else. But there's one fish that I'm not sure if we have. The rest I'm pretty sure to guaranteed that we have. Let's see. Let's start with the krill. We have over 100. It's fine. Alright, this is our last fishing hole in A Realm Reborn. We have now been to every single fishing hole in the game. And Cape Westwind. We have caught all the fish here already. Excellent. Alright. Then with that, we are done with exploring fishing holes. Next time we go fishing, it'll be for catching post-game fish. So with that, next time on Final Fantasy XIV. Now that fishing is done, next up I think is going to be botany. I'll see everyone next time for that.